Hey everybody, Ross Martin here. Last night I had the world premiere of my show, Miss Isabella Rainsong and her traveling companion. One viewer gave it 5 stars on her program. Did a workshop version of it last night in my house. And this is all the stuff that it took to make this happen. I turned it all down and now I wanted to kind of take an inventory of it so I could keep track of it in case I want to do this in production in a later stage. I can think about all the stuff that I need to bring in different venues. So I was going to just walk through it real quick. And if you want to listen, you can listen on. If you don't care about this, then no, doesn't matter. Of course, this is the star of the show, Miss Isabella Rainsong. Her actual name is Dolly Rainsong, but her stage name for the show was Isabella because it just had a prettier ring to it. No offense, Dolly. I love Dolly as a name. And so depending on what venue you're in, this happened to be in my home, so I needed to bring in sound and lighting and effects and all that. But if a place already has lighting and sound, then there's less stuff I have to bring. This whole thing is designed to be very portable, something that I could take on the road pretty easily with minimal stage setup. Since it's the one-man show, it doesn't take a lot of crew. My wife ran the sound and lights, and I gave her a 10-minute instruction on how to push the buttons to make it all happen. And then my son videotaped it for me, and I'll see if any of that is worth sharing. But let's just walk through what we got here. First, just starting with lighting. I just had two lights set up with stands. Those are my son's lights, and he videotapes. He had the stand there for his for my camera. We had a second camera on the side that took another kind of B shot for us. I had these teleprompters here. What I did was I had one person following the script on an iPad on my Google Drive, and then we used Zoom to project it to another one. As soon as we started the show, I realized because there's this lightning thing where the lights turn out at the end, I really didn't want that to be glowing the whole time, so we actually turned it off. Next time I think what I would do is just flip it and make it black and white, white lettering on black, and that would still work if I needed it. But for the workshop version, because I was memorizing 22 pages of monologue and knew I just wasn't going to get it right the first time, needed a little bit of help. So I just had him follow along instead, and that worked okay too. So that's not essential. You'll see that there's some iPad stuff there. There was the stand for the mount for the teleprompter version of the iPad so I could see the words if I needed. We recorded with a video thing, and I recorded with 2 different audio tools, the H2 Zoom and also a FACMImimi, which is a really cool little Bluetooth microphone that I picked up on a Kickstarter campaign, or I guess it was Indiegogo. I think that did that campaign. I just got it a few weeks ago, been trying it out. It's a really nice little tool. So we use that to record. Of course, right there is the remnants of the duct tape, and you cannot live without duct tape. The next thing over here is essential item. This is a black light that has a remote control on it. Where is that remote? Oh, here's the remote control. Let me show you what this looks like. So I did a little cool thing. There's 2 pieces to this. This has made it really easy for my wife to run the lights. So this turned on and off the black light at the critical moment at the end of the show, and then this was the slider for the lights, so she was able to just run the lights with this one gizmo, so she didn't really have to do anything at all for that. Okay, in terms of props on stage, the only props I had was this little letter that is from Miss Isabella Rainsong. Inside there's a letter, and there's also a ticket, a magical ticket that gives you unlimited access on the Amtrak rail system anywhere throughout the continental United States of America. Ooh, look at that. Check that out. And then I had a canteen that I got from a really cool Army surplus store that this retired Army colonel guy is running out of his tent in the back of his, or a little shack in the back of his house, not far from where I live in Maryland. You need a polishing rag for Dolly. Of course, here's the sign for the train station where the whole thing takes place. The bench itself, I made this bench to be very portable. I can take it apart, and it's pretty light. It's strong enough to hold me, and that's about it. but it'll last through a bunch of shows. This little thing, this little gizmo was just to make an effect for the black light, so it would come in over time, first completely dark, and then as you brought it down and sort of moved it around, it would create this really cool little shimmery image of it. And that all worked pretty well. I was pretty pleased with that. So what else do we have here? We got the lights. I used incandescent lights they were compact flashlights, but they were stronger than our usual ones, and they were dimmable. That's why I had to put in different lights for those. All the sound ran off an iPhone. I mixed it all in Audacity, and I just had 3 files for different places when my wife had to just push the button and start the file. So that was really cool. I made programs for everybody. The programs had, of course, the thank you for everybody, a little bit about the cast, and then I included the entire script for this particular workshop version because I wanted people to give me comments on different places in the script. You can see this thing was 33 pages long in this format. Normal 8x10, it's about 20. Well, it depends. I made a shorter version that was about 20-some pages long. You can see this was the script for my Techie Cabana light and sound gal, my wife, Kim, who I marked things for her so she would know when it was her time to do stuff. Essential stuff is like nail glue. I had a nail incident just at the, I know you don't care, but on your right hand, for right-handed, or people who play right-handed, I'm left-handed, but I play right-handed. You gotta have long fingernails for people who do finger picking if you do it in a certain style. That's what I do. And I had a broken nail a couple of weeks ago that was cracked but not broken, so I've been trying to nurse it all the way through. It's funny, it lasted through last night, and then this morning it was just unusable almost. I'm probably gonna just have to cut it off, but I was so grateful that it lasted through the night. I know it's just such a silly problem to have, but it was a real problem for me. So nail glue essential, the file for your nails essential, this little black light pen so you could see what's going on. So let me just show you something really cool. Everybody who came to the play last night got a little souvenir ticket, which was signed by me and Dolly with a black light pen. And there's a reason for that. I mean, there's some cool things in the play about what happens with signatures in it. So black light pens, that's a black light pen. This is a pen for writing the note on the black paper that's all white. This is my little mixing board. This just made it really easy for me to split the signals into left and right so I could send the different places, because I was using this really cool, let me show you this, this lightning machine. I think I showed this before in another video. I got this for like 25 bucks on Amazon, and what it does is it'll take a signal in, an audio input, or you can just have it use a mic instead, but you can use audio input and you can change the sensitivity. And then based on that, when it gets really loud, it'll light up a light right over here. I just use an incandescent light hidden right behind the stairs there. And so you could see this, it would just come in whenever the thunder would roll, it would, just flash. It was very cool. These are just batteries for the camera that we used. Lots of connectors. So I needed a male-to-male to go into this, charger for the iPhone. This went into the subwoofer that all this stuff is sitting on. I don't need this if I have sound in the place that I'm going to be performing. I showed you my little fancy light controller. These little 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch converters were important to get the stuff off of the receiver and then picking them up and splitting. So this was for splitting one signal, so one piece of it could go to the lightning machine. And then of course I had two different cables to go to the to my little PA here. I also used some just regular computer speakers for the high end, and that really worked well because the station master would say things over the PA, and that really sounded better when you had a little high end on it. Of course, duct tape, you got to bring a roll of duct tape. And I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different extension cords because I had to run stuff there was a table up here on the stairs where my wife worked the lights, and the speakers were there. The speakers were back here, kind of hidden away for the subwoofer and the main one. And then I had to run lights up here all the way across the ceiling and then down here. And so I had lots of things plugged in. I'm so glad the power didn't go out last night because it would have been a disaster. Last couple things is I made these little covers for the tops of my windows, since I had to have it completely dark in here, and that worked out really well. It was so geeky I had to even paint them so they wouldn't look weird. And that's about it. So I think that's pretty much all the equipment that I needed. Of course, if I don't do sound, if I don't have to be in charge of the speakers, I don't need the subwoofer, I don't need this, the main PA, I don't need these little speakers. If I don't have to do lighting, I don't need all of this, I don't need this, and all I need, and if I'm not recording it, I don't need all of this stuff. All I really need is the bench, the effects thing, this little black light, the props that are over here, and then an iPhone, and whatever we do for programming. So it really can be a very portable show. I'm so excited that it turned out really well. I got lots of great feedback from folks, and of course you need Dolly, and Dolly likes, when she's chilling, she likes to have this stand. I just bought this stand from Sweetwater. I don't know if you guys use Sweetwater, but man, they are such a good company. Love this stand. It's from Ultimate Support, and you just drop your guitar and bing, there it is. It's really easy to get on and off, and it's super clean and very portable. It folds up very nicely. So that's it. Hope you had a good view of this. This is really more for me than for you, I guess, because I really needed to make sure I knew what I needed in the future, and I thought I'd just stick it on the Facebook or something. So bye and thanks.